Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to VP4TV. We're back for another live stream match in one of the two events that's running concurrently at the moment. We have the three cushion World Championship that's up and running at the moment. We had a good match the other night there, which is probably the first player we've seen in the tournament who has got a lot of class, and that is Chiku, who was playing Serrat. Good evening to Brainful Out. Serrat and Chiku were playing a three-cushion match late on the other night there. I'm glad I caught it. One Pocket Slim streamed it, and let's just say LS3's high run for the tournament, which was 4, it only took 5 minutes for that to go, because I'm pretty certain that Chiku, right off the bat, broke off and got a run of 6. And I cannot see any way where this guy isn't going to win the three-cushion tournament. I mean, he's just too good. And a match that was a race to 20 that we've seen so far can take quite a long while, because everybody else is struggling to get shots in that game. That match was over in 33 minutes the other night, and it is well worth a watch. So get yourself onto One Pocket Slim's Twitch channel and watch that rerun, and you'll come to the same conclusion as I have, that this guy Chiku's got this tournament in the bag. The only way he can't win it is by not turning up. Welcome to Semi-Pro. As you can see, I've got a couple of things added to the stream. I thought my little VP4TV logo was meant to be up top. Maybe it only appears in the finished recording of the stream, but I don't see it there. But what I have done is I've added a subscribers goal for YouTube, and I dated it to end 5 years from today. Bear in mind, I've been streaming since 2007. My target is still to get 1,000 subscribers, and I'm only at 621, and even that goes up and down because people subscribe and then unsubscribe. I've also, in the bottom left-hand corner, managed to add a kick counter as well. So we've got the 3 prime channels that I live stream to: Twitch, YouTube, and Kick, and they've all got a counter on them. The difference for the Kick one is it's got your maximum total for the stream, plus it's got an average total on the right hand side, which is quite cool. I found that on a little app site that's got various apps, but it's the first one I found that's got Kick. Anyway, to the matter in hand this evening, we have a round 2 match in the Black Ball, or the Virtual Black Ball World Championship, between MC Clarkey and Coldest Pillow. Now, I saw Matt arrive. He's already in getting practice. Coldest Pillow was in earlier on, and he's in away mode. So the good news is we've got both players here, and we should be good to go at the top of the hour. So Coldest Pillow, I haven't really seen him play an awful lot. He's going to have to play pretty solidly against Matt. Likewise for Matt, though, although Matt's a good solid player, a totally alien table to him. So there's the long learning process that goes on with this black ball game. You'll get caught out with the pace of the cue ball, totally different from what is used to in 9 ball, and probably overhitting shots more than anything else. That's probably the biggest downfall for most people. So we'll see how it pans out. Well, as I say, I'll reserve judgment till I have a look at how things go. So if you're not a subscriber to YouTube, or if you're watching in Kick, watching in Twitch, then it doesn't matter if you don't watch on YouTube. Just go and subscribe, get my viewer count up. I need to get to 1,000, because that's the way I can make any form of money out of being a streamer on YouTube. I won't make it anywhere else, but it's going to be a long time before I get there if I don't keep getting the odd subscription here and there. Right, now I don't know if Steve's around. He's made no contact with me today, so I'll do a quick tab out He's not there, so I've got Discord open, so we won't tab out anymore unless he comes into the stream, into the room, and then I'll know that he's in Discord, so that'll save me messing about backward and forward. Now, as for the Black Ball tournament, we've only got one other match that's on the schedule, which has been there for a few days, and that's Cobra and LS3. Should be a good match on Sunday evening, and that starts at 7 PM. So that is going to be well worth a watch. LS3 is going to be up against it, but I think she stands a very good chance if she takes her chances. That's what it really is all about in the black ball table, because you know anybody can pot a ball in the black ball table, but then it's down to the ability to move that cue ball. Cobra's going to be favourite for that reason, but I think you know, on a good day, LS3 could really push him, and it might not be a dead set that many of us are thinking of. So that's the one to look forward to. I don't think that there's, at least there wasn't earlier on today when I checked, there wasn't any other matches scheduled on the 3-cushion tournament, but they will come eventually. Maybe there was, I can't remember now. Who is it? Maybe somebody did say. If I won't bother looking. So, according to my counter, we've got 4 on YouTube. So, YouTube is topping out Twitch at the moment. Mind you, the 4 that we have on YouTube, somebody's probably stumbled across the stream and just looked in to see what it is, and then it'll disappear. That's what usually happens. But welcome to anybody that's out there. LS3's beaten him some recent matches. Yeah, well, okay, again, it's a bit like making 147s, though, isn't it? You've got, it doesn't matter how well you do in just matches. It's been able to do it in when it matters in the big tournaments. That's when you want to keep your best performances for. And LS3 is certainly a player who's moving up in terms of performance. I thought she did pretty well in the match against One Pocket Slim in that 3-cushion match. When I left, I had to go to bed, and Slim, I think, was 18-16 up or something like that, and I noticed LS3 managed to win out in the end. But like I say, go watch that match with Chiku and Serrat from the other night. It's still on Slim's channel, well worth a watch. It's only half an hour, but it's well worth watching it. Some really excellent shots that a proper 3-cushion player knows how to play, and that's what makes it a lot more interesting to watch when you've got players that are really good at what they do. So welcome to Mark. How long? Well, that room should be up. In fact, it probably is. I'm rabbiting away here. Let's get in. Well, Coldest Pillow's in. We're waiting on Matt coming in. So I'm now streaming back to all my main channels. What I think I'm going to do is probably get rid of Steam and add Facebook. That way it lets people know that I'm live at the time. So Matt's in, we've got Coldest Pillow nearest me, and we'll have the lag for the break if one of them decides to make a move. Everything seems locked up at the moment. There isn't a queue moving. Well, Matt said good luck. Coldest Pillow said nothing. So we might have problems straight off the bat here. His queue is just dead in the water. It's doing nothing at all. Ah, right. He's finally woke up. Don't tell me that's really bad lag, is it? So, Coldest Pillow nearest me, but Matt has won the lag. So off we go, race to 13. And of course it's alternate break. And definitely a couple of balls have gone in, but I think the cue ball was one of them. So that's the first mistake of the night. So here's a great chance for Coldest Pillow. And I'm thinking, well, what's the best set of balls to go for? They're all pretty good. I mean, if you're going to go for the reds, then the problem with that is you'll get reds up in that top right-hand side of the table that are blocked with the yellows. So the yellows, you would have to say, are favourite. Now that yellow there does go into the side, but it's tight. So that's a problem. And it's also a problem because it's blocked up into that pocket, it's blocked into this pocket. And, well, 2 balls must have gone in there because it's still an open table. Oh, Coldest Pillow's saying his mouse DPI is wrecked. He's probably hit a button. Welcome to Bill. Now, who the hell is this Getty Fook? I want to know who that is. Come on and let us know who it is. Welcome to Larry. Just a long time lurker. That will be right. From what I've seen so far, not many use the free shot or deal with issues, problems early on and go for clearances that are not on. Yeah, I agree with you, Semi-Pro. You've got to use your free shot to your advantage. And that is the whole thing. I mean, you get that free shot. If there's a problem in the table, you must deal with the problem immediately in that situation, because if the table's good, then you've got a perfect opportunity to run out. Now look at this table. This table right now is really good for Matt, and you've got to expect him to run out. Welcome to Rob. Right, I think he should be taking that red into the side pocket right now, unless he wants to take it up table. Maybe that's what he's planning on doing, but maybe that's too tight, that into the side. Oh yeah, I don't like that. It looked a lot easier when you were looking up the table, but he's going to have to play it up into the top corner. Now this is a wee bit, well, he's got to watch he doesn't come out behind the yellow if he's going to keep on this red. Well, he has come out behind the yellow, he's missed the red, but he's got control at that end of the table. Well, that's leaking away. That was a poor shot from Coldest Pillow. And that's how you get caught out with that cue ball. That's exactly it. You know, you've got to have a deft touch, because that cue ball can just get away from you. And Coldest Pillow's finding out the hard way. And Matt's probably doing the right thing here, because he can just snick this red that's over the pocket and just come back up inside the yellow. I would imagine that's what he's going to do. So eventually he gets the job done and he's off the mark. Well, again, a ball has gone in this time for Coldest Pillow, and I would want to take the reds. The obvious reason being that you've got these 3 reds down in the bottom left hand corner, 2 of which are blocking the pocket. But if that if Matt comes to the table and he's on the yellows, he can easily bump that yellow in behind those two reds. There's enough room to do that, I think. I think he can go to the rail and bump the back of the other red and take control of that pocket. So Coldest Pillow's got to see this through. He's got himself in a good position here to run out, and you've really got to run out with this setup here. But he's got to be careful how he takes one of the reds over that corner pocket. Now the top one, or the one in the middle of the three, and this might be no good. Well, it's a little dink back. I think the problem here is getting good on this one. He's going to take some of that one, end up here. He doesn't want to bump the yellow because he might bump it and block. Well, he's bumped the yellow, but it's not bad. And he doesn't want to be taking this red if he's going to brush into the yellow. He wants to hold the cue ball. Well, he's bumped the yellow and he's good. These are things, little dinks that can go wrong, but he's done well so far. Now's the tricky one. This looks easy, but again, he's just got to make sure he gets up the table. Well, he's left it short. He's left it short. But he's played it well. Well, that is pretty impressive for Coldest Pillow. I think he settled down very rapidly there, and that's a good rack for him to win. Fairly impressive how he managed to get the job done. And that immediately will get Matt thinking. So the 8 ball has gone in. It tried to go in again. Matt breaking off in rack number 3. Oh, now what have we got going on here? We've got a problem. Of course, there's always a problem most of the time. And Matt's chosen the reds. Now, of course, Matt's biggest issue, and he's got balls up the table to deal with it, he's got to find a way to get a nudge. And that's not exactly great, but he could get a nudge here. He's going to maybe have to tweak this a wee bit, just to maybe catch the back of that red when he's cutting this in. Well, it's gone in. He's got the hit. The question is, has he got a pot in that red? Well, he will do, I think. I think he's got enough of that from this side of the 8 ball. I think he could get away with it. Now, clearly, it goes into the side pocket, but he's never going to be over in this position again, I don't think. So this isn't cut in stone that he's going to win this. Well, he's doing the acrobatics. And he's on that red. He is on it. And that's a nice shot. That is very well controlled. Some nice touch there. And a good response from Matt. So we could have a good match on here, folks. Matt back into the lead. Break goes back to Coldest Pillow. And ball's going in. Oh, this is not a bad table. Let's have a look. Well, both those yellows, the first one goes. The problem is he thinking this through? He's got to get in behind that yellow, and that's well done, because that was a major problem. And this could be a very quick rack. But again, it's it's got to be good on this last yellow here to get good on that 8-ball. That's a tricky one again. How does that look from this end? This is tricky because the cue ball wants to duck over the left hand side. And well, that pace is pretty good again. That's a very good shot. Well, he seems pretty comfortable at this game, by the way. I think Coldest Pillows impressed me so far. He's been up to the task. He's responded to Matt. And this might be a very good match. This is what I like to see. So again, we've had a ball in the break, but this table is not quite so inviting. We've got the big problem this time at the bottom left hand corner. You've got two reds nailed together and the two reds block the yellow. So there's a bit of improvement needed here for the lay of these balls to get this rack done. And of course, the other problem is the yellow that's above the 8-ball. It's not exactly handy. So Matt pots his red, nudges one of the yellows in. Legal shot, of course, if you pot your own ball first. Well, that's actually pretty good because he's improved the two balls. Both of those reds now go, and the inside red is still blocking the yellow, so that's worked out pretty good. Oh, he needed a wee bit more juice in that one. I don't think the yellow is close enough to cause interference with the yellow, and it isn't. So Matt, well, he's going to have to rethink his plan here because I think he didn't think he was going to get up that far up the table. But he's still okay. And he may well have to leave that red on the right hand side as his last ball to get on that 8-ball. I mean, he could get on it off the other red on the left hand side, but it just depends how well he finishes on either of them. Well, it's just going to be a little dink. And that's perfect. So Matt's going back into the lead. And of course, Coldest Pillows always under that little bit of pressure to respond each time. And I think he's had no joy this time. It's come up dry. And once again, it is not a bad looking table. These yellows look good. If only because there's two reds on the right hand side there that are interfering with one another. I mean, they will go into this, well, the outside one will go into this bottom right hand corner, but I don't believe he's even going to contemplate that. It's yellows all the way. A big problem though could be the 8-ball, but the 8-ball has got a path into that corner pocket. It will go. Now this needs either a little draw to the rail or a little jabby stun just to nick up for that yellow that's just above the cue ball. Let's have a look. He might be too straight. Let's have a look. Yes, he is. He's too straight. It's not a good angle on that yellow at all. And suddenly with that shot and that position he was in, it's not quite as cut and dried, this rack, because he's going to have to drop back down for this yellow at the bottom here, and then you've still got the 8 ball sitting in an awkward spot. So again, it's not a certainty that this is going to be done. And I don't believe that he wants to try and interfere with that 8 ball when he's still got a final yellow to get. I mean, the angle he's got in this is a bit more than he would like, but I think he can go behind it unless he's going to stun up. Well, now he's in dire straits here. That was not the way to do it. I think he had to stun that up the table. Well, he's got the hit. And now Coldest Pillow has got a table that is not necessarily going to be an easy run out, because remember earlier when I said that you can get to that red into the corner pocket. Well, I mean, you can get to it from this end, but it's now blocked with the yellow. So Coldest Pillow has got to get in a position where he's going to cover that yellow and have Matt kicking at it to try and get the 2 shots out of him to deal with that problem up table. He can't keep potting balls, but now he's got himself in a position where he's probably going to have to keep potting them until he gets to those last 2 and then just duck. But he's got to play a decent safety though, because with where the yellow's sitting, if Matt can see the long rail on the left hand side, he's most certainly going to be having a go at kicking it in. So he's got to come up with something decent here, and I think this is a test of the touch. And that'll do it. But as I say, the kick is still on here. Sure, he's got to go to the opposite long rail and try and kick this in. And there you go. That was well worked out. Picked the line perfectly, and that was the only danger, that when you're trying to cover that yellow, you had to block the path and try and nick behind the other red to block that path for the kick. So, you know, it's all very well playing a safety and creating a snooker, but you know, in pool, whether it be 9 ball or black ball, you've got to also try and take it to that next level where you block the opportunity to play the kick. That wasn't always guaranteed the way the balls were sitting. But having said that, you've still got to, if you're the incoming player, you've still got to pull off the shot. And then once again, it was well played by Matt, and now he has daylight. We've also got a problem. 8 ball is dead on the long rail on the left, blocked with the yellow. And with Coldest Pillow at the table, he's also in a situation where he's potting balls, and he doesn't want to be getting to the stage where he's having to play at the 8 ball. Matt's got to improve his yellow, so. But Matt's also got good cover up the table where he can duck away. Does that go with that red? Yes, it does. Well, if this is me, I'm just playing safe somehow or other. You're actually conceding the table, and you're more than likely going to end up in trouble within a couple of shots. and where he's sat now is not ideal. He hasn't got to the rail. That's the biggest mistake of all. So Coldest Pillow's good start. He's now added to that his problems. He's not only got the deficit of 2 now, but he's given away a free gift for Matt to commit to the run out. So the 8 ball's now in play. His problem yellow is now in play. And he's got to get the pattern right here to get out. So a quick reminder to those watching, we're now back to streaming on all 4 platforms. We're streaming to Kick again, we're streaming to Twitch as well as YouTube, and also on Steam. So if you're having a problem with your stream, why not try going to one of the other platforms? Just look for 9ball.com. You'll easily find me. Welcome to Popman. Well, Matt doesn't want to kill this yellow. He's going to collide with it, I think. So he's just trying to bump it in the right direction, and that's good enough. So Coldest Pillow's now got a task to try and accomplish and find a way back into this match, which is not easy to do in alternate break. But he's got an opportunity now from his break if he can get any joy. Well, he's got the first part of it right. Balls have gone in. And, well, I mean, you look at the reds, you know, you can get that one, you can get that one, you can get that one. I'm not sure what that was about. That was way too hard. This is going to be really awkward to get back up the table. Even if he comes up and misses a bump, he's got to miss a bump here either way. And he couldn't avoid hitting the yellow on the rail. But he's still on his red. Now here's the tricky part. I think he's got to jack up and try and stun down and miss the yellow, because if he goes and lets it run that way, he may well block himself off either with the 8 ball, or he'll have to create a combo. And he's tried to stun it down. He hasn't got into it enough though. That needed a bit more of a jab to get that cue ball to keep a straight line and keep the pace in it. So this is now a dangerous situation for Coldest Pillow. I mean, that red will cut. I think, in fact, it won't even cut. It's too tight. And the bad news for Coldest Pillow is that yellow will go, at least from one side, and Matt's got the perfect opportunity right now to deal with the problem. That first, the shot like 3 shots ago that Coldest Pillow played, where he ran through to the rail, I do believe he was trying to collide with his reds, and then of course the cue ball ended up in a sort of no man's land spot. He wasn't great. He had the red that was over here by the yellow, and then he nudged the yellow in when he potted his red, but he was never going to be good to get back up the table onto those 2 reds. So that's where it went wrong. Welcome to Tommy. And Matt's going to be in a good comfort zone here in a minute if he can get this done. Well, he's going to have to dish up a shot here though. And this has got to be dead weight so the cue ball stays somewhere in the middle of the table to have a shot in the 8 ball. And he's overcut it. But once again, Coldest Pillow has got a problem. The problem is the balls are too close together. He can't just kick in behind them. He's got to get a ball to rail. And he's going to obviously hope that he gets some sort of cover. This is not easy. Well, I've got 621 Potman, and I'm begging anybody and everybody who isn't a subscriber to subscribe. I'm desperately trying to get to 1,000 subscribers because that's where you make money. And at the moment, I'm not making any money, and I haven't been since 2007. Well, it was a good effort from Coldest Pillow. Oh, what a shot from Matt. Oh, he's just got a little feather in the yellow. And Coldest Pillow's been struck right in a hole. And Matt's apologising, but you'll take all the luck you can get in this game. But Coldest Pillow is going to need a fair chunk of luck here as well to stop Matt getting out. Oh, that was a great effort. A great effort. Look at the red. All but in the pocket. Well, are you guys going to play your black ball match as well? Well, that's good. Oh, cue ball. Oh. Well, Matt's racing away here at the moment. 6-2 up, but you know, Coldest Pillow's just got to play it rack by rack. That's all you can do, is just focus on the lay of the table. Don't pay any attention to the score. It won't do you any good. And it's another not really inviting table here. Matt's plump for the Reds. And he's got the major problem in the left-hand side. He's actually got two problems because that other red that's above the side pocket is not exactly accessible either, where it's sitting. It's a very tight spot to get the cue ball in there. Is he on this red? Yes, he is. Well, that's a bonus. That is a real bonus. Look at the gap that he had to go through there to get on that red. That was excellent. I think he got a bit of luck there. If he played it, then it was perfect. But I think that was a bonus that he got on that red as it was. And he can also cut that red on the left-hand side right now as well if he wants. I think this is the one he wants to get rid of. And he's got to come across the table and back out for one of these, but he's going the other way. Well, I think maybe he was just sizing up that shot, but this is really the one he's got to play and come back across the table. And that was well played also. Pocket weight, it caught the long rail, but it didn't catch it enough to kill the line into the pocket. Now, this is suddenly got really tough because that 8 ball is nigh on inaccessible where it's sitting. But he's got there. That was very well controlled again from Matt. He's got a really deft touch when it comes to it. And that was a legal shot. And a very, very good run out. You think about where the problem balls were sitting for him there. Okay, he might have got a little roll of the ball, but it was very well done. And it's a 7-2 lead now. Cue ball is touching the red. It's still an open table though. And 2 or 3 balls are going down in the break there. And again it's ugly. What round is that match you guys are playing? It'll be what is it, a one-loss side match? Aye, it must be because Semi-Pro sent Popman to the one-loss side. Well, Coldest Pillow comes to the table here and all his reds are on. And he's got to get that one that he's taken now because he can hold with the other yellow. The only concern you would have for his future prospects are getting on that 8 ball, which looks easy where it's sitting, but there's balls there to interfere with the line of the shot one way or another. But he's got to get out here. Well, if he cuts the one on the outside, he's got to watch the pace in that as well. And if he cuts this one, oh, he's got to watch the yellow. That's the problem. He's let it leak away. And this is where the game gets so frustrating. He's now given Matt 2 shots again, and this is a gift to steal another rack here for Matt. And of course, straight away, he's dealing with a problem situation, and now they're all there. And it's painful when you're under pressure and you've got a deficit you're trying to make up. And then things suddenly come apart at the seams. And Matt's too good a player to be giving him opportunities like this. You know, that cut shot that Coldest Pillow played there, he maybe needed to put a wee bit of right English on the cue ball just to catch that rail. The problem with doing that is it makes the shot a lot more difficult. But he let the cue ball leak away in its natural path and it finished up behind the yellow and he was doomed. Well, it was a good start, wasn't it, for Coldest Pillow? We all thought we were going to have a good match on here, but it ran away very rapidly here in the following racks. It's now like, what, 6 in a row here, I think, maybe. Or at least 5 in a row at least. Well, Matt has broke off and scratched again, I think. I think that's about the second scratch of the break. See, again, that shot there wasn't really well thought out. And the reason I say that is because he hit it too hard to break those balls. And when the other ball starts running loose, it can end up running into more trouble and create more trouble. So he's committed to the reds. This is going to be a problem here. That's the big problem, is not potting that red, but getting to this red. Now you can get to that red provided you do the pattern right, and the pattern isn't this one. The pattern can't be that one now. He's got to get rid of that one. I don't think that was the right shot. I mean, people can argue with me. I don't think it was the right shot. Now is he going to try and kill this and stay there and take it from the short side? I don't think he's any other option, because he's not going to get back down onto this red very easily. Well, all his eggs are into one basket now. Now, once again, looking ahead here, and it hasn't gone. Looking ahead, had he got that in, he wasn't exactly sitting perfect in that one. But Matt can't see that yellow. If he could have saw this yellow here, he would have dealt with it immediately. And now he's created a problem. And you see how in one shot there, Matt has almost gained control of the table, but that pocket is not blocked far enough. He can punch this to the rail and get the 8 ball out of the way here. Get into the back of the 8 ball. Let's have a look. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. He's played the bank and it's gone in. Well, now it's a great winning opportunity. Under pressure to get out. Well, this is just going to stem the tide, but for how many racks? And the Coldest pillow will be relieved to finally get out. Now, did he just type that right now? He said 1 minute, might be going to the bathroom or going to get a drink. So while he's doing that, let's do a quick tab and also a quick refresh, and we'll see that Popman and Tommy are going ahead at the top of the hour in their one-loss side match. What's the one-loss side? A race to 11? Yes, it is. So we'll catch up with that match once this is done. Obviously, if this match is still running, we'll keep an eye on the bracket and keep an update on the scores. I'm going to say it again for the benefit of any latecomers. Either tonight or tomorrow, if you've got time, go to Slim's channel and go and watch the Chiku Serra 3-cushion match that went ahead the other night there, and you will see the winner of this year's 3-cushion World Championship playing. The match lasts about 32 minutes, so it's not lengthy, but some very, very impressive shots from Chiku. And he's definitely stuck his name on the trophy. I can tell you that straight off the bat. And that wasn't the greatest shot in the world. Coldest pillow has bumped into or drawn onto the 8 ball and pushed it dead. Well, the surprising thing is looking at kick, there's like one person on kick. The maximum we've had is 2, and I would have thought that because kick has got the fastest turnaround, a lot more of you would have been watching it on kick. Yeah, you've got to go and check it out. I'm pretty certain when the match starts, I think he won the lag, and I might be wrong in this saying this, you can never trust what I say, but I'm pretty certain he broke off and got a run of 6 straight out the starting blocks. Got the highest run for the tournament. But he played some really clever little shots. I mean, okay, he missed a few, as you're always going to do in free cushion, but, every shot he played had intent on what he was doing. And more often than not, you could see the line that he was getting. He was pretty much on target all the time. And his strike rate is miles ahead of anybody else. Almost double and more when you look at the stats. But he's the guy that's, as I say, there's only one way he's not going to win this 3-cushion tournament, and that's if he decides he doesn't want to show up. All he has to do is show up and he's going to win it. It's a given. I can't see anybody else causing him a problem. That Kylan's guy, he's got the second highest run of the tournament. I haven't seen him play yet, or Kylan's or whatever he is, but his high run I think was 5 in his match. So it could well be that it's the two of them in the final. It'd be a big shock for neither of those two not only to get to the final, but Chiku winning it outright. There's nobody else in the tournament that's going to come close to them. Oh, is it Vince says? I forgot about that. You're right enough. I forgot about that. I remember he was in, I think he was in the stream or something, and he told us that. It shows you how bad my memory is. But you've definitely got a point there. So he's keeping the low profile. That's what he's doing. All he'll be hoping for next is that he's got Stubb in his sights and takes him out on the way to the final. So we've still got, well, we've got an even bigger problem top end of the table here. This could go on for a while, this. But Matt's made the commitment. He's got the 8-ball into play. And Coldest pillow. Well, both players have got work to do if they're going to improve the situation. Now, Matt, if he can be brave enough and play the combo with his yellow onto the red, onto the yellow over the pocket, I would think he would have to play it fairly firm if he was going to try and break those out and clear the pocket. But he won't be doing that till he comes to the table. It's Coldest pillow who's got to make a decision here. But whenever Matt does play that combo, which could well be right now, he'll be committed. Problem, of course, now is that the 8-ball is blocked into the bottom corner. Let's have a look. We need a closer look at this setup here. Well, that's 1 ball out for Coldest pillow. So both players have got control of either end of the table for the time being. Although Matt is in the stronger position at the top right. And it would be asking a lot to try and get really good on that 8-ball, to push the 8-ball onto the red that's over the pocket and get the 8-ball to follow it in to win the rack. That's a big ask. So we are 13 minutes away from that one lost side match between Potman and Tommy. As I said earlier, we'll keep an eye on what's happening in it, and we'll join that as soon as this is over. Well, now the table is a lot better than what it was a minute ago. Coldest Pillow has only got the one lifeline here, and that's that red ball block in the pocket. And of course you've got the red ball block in the pocket up top right as well, so it's going to be... Well, Matt, well, he was focused on trying to do something with the 8 ball, but he's now given up the rack here to Coldest Pillows. It's Coldest Pillows' rack to lose, really. Now, he's going to pot the red up where he is. The problem, he's got to be careful. Well, he's looking at, maybe he's doing this now in case there is a problem, and that might not be a wrong move. That's actually worked out pretty well. The scary bit is taking the red up top and still hoping to go on that red over the pocket. So again, he's got rid of that one, which is the safest shot to play. And that way he's not going to run into trouble getting hooked behind the 8 ball. So it's going to be 2 racks in a row here for Coldest Pillow, just what the doctor ordered. And not only that, it again just lets Matt know that he's still here to play a match. You know, he's not giving in. And of course the other problem for Coldest Pillow is the break went straight back to Matt, who has an 8-4 lead. He's had a couple of balls in the break, and again we've got a similar problem. We've got the 8 ball blocked off by the red. Matt's committed to the yellows. He's too close to the red to deal with those yellows there, so he's had a little bump onto the 8, so now everything's on in terms of trying to win the rack, but Coldest Pillow will be hoping that Matt can't do anything with those 2 yellows up on the right hand side. This yellow on the left hand side is fairly tight to the rail, and he's got on it as good as he could, and he's probably going to try and improve those 2 balls. Well, I don't know whether he's got to tweak this. He might catch the red and do nothing here. Is he going to try and cut that? Yes, he is, and it's went off the yellow. That's worked out pretty good, but oh, and he can see the yellow also. Well, he's under a wee bit of pressure here to get the job done. Well, he's just got to make sure, if he's coming up table towards us, that he comes up far enough that he can at least cut the 8 ball into the side. That's really the only shot he's going to have. Can't see him going anywhere else with it, unless he's trying to just stun in and play it into the bottom left corner. That's what he's doing, and he's finished perfect. He's nailed it pretty well. It's not straight in, but it'd be a bad miss if he doesn't get it. Another solid out for MC Clarkey, and he stretches his lead again to 5. And once again, we've had a scratch in the break. This time it's Coldest Pillow. And well, I've got to say, looking at the table here, this is a table that somebody of Matt's class should always be expecting to get out, no matter what set of balls he goes for. They've all got pockets to go into. It's just a question of what he feels comfortable with. I'm sure that yellow goes past. Yes, it does. It comes into this corner pocket. Well, that shot that he just played there, he's got to now commit to the red simply because he's blocked the top corner pocket with the red. And that's dealt with the problem immediately. And now everything's good to go. Fully expect Matt to be in double figures here at the end of this visit. Well, now I think he's on the red. What was that noise there? Was that Discord? I think it was Discord. Hold on a second. Don't know what it was. That chat will fix itself in a second or two. Oh well, we just get back in time. Matt's hung the red over the pocket. Well, at least I hope it will fix itself. Why have I started getting these alerts in Discord? There we go, it's fixed itself. Well, that's not worked out great either. I think he might have been trying to bump in behind that yellow to get around the other side of it. Well, there's a chance here to get down onto it. He's got to pot this yellow and run through. And that's almost very well done. He would have liked to have been further up. I'm surprised he's going to take the long one, so he's got to control the draw. He's overhit it by a country mile. That's the problem with this cue ball. You dig in too deep, you've got to get the stun draw working. If you start just lowering the cue tip and putting spin on it, the cue ball's just going to fizz up. Well, he's going to have to try and pull off some sort of bank, but I think he's blocked both ways. He's blocked with the 8 ball down the left side, and more or less blocked with the red on the right side, so this is any pocket will do. Well, he's done his best to try and nudge his yellow in as a blocker, but it hasn't really worked out. So Matt, well, he didn't get the job done first time around, but he's going to do it now, and the gap is going to 6. And it's MC Clarkey breaking off. I think this is dry. No, yellow's gone in. And once again, it's another not too pretty table to lay the balls. And Matt's committed to the reds because those are the ones that are in control of the top right hand side of the table. And he's going to try and squeeze this. I think there's plenty of room to play it. Why am I getting notifications now on Discord? I had all of that crap switched off so you don't hear those beeps. In fact, the fact that Steve's not in Discord, I think what I'll just do, we'll see this shot from Matt, is I'll just tab out and I'll shut it down and get rid of the damn thing because it's annoying. I don't know whether that maybe means I've got a message or something. I don't know what the notification noises are. Right, 2 seconds. Right, that's Discord shut down. The chat will recover in a second. Yeah, but the thing is, Mark, I don't get them any other bloody time. I've had that switched off, and you know, I'll tell you something. Discord had an update earlier today. You know how you see the little bar loading up with 2 or 3 updates as it's installing? I bet you that's what's done it. I bet they've done something that bloody activates the notifications again. Yeah, but you can. I'm sure you can mute all of that crap. I've done it before, and it's doing it again for some reason, and it's annoying because you don't. First of all, I don't know what the hell it means. That's the one thing I don't know. I'm getting notifications through from some bloody channel that I'm subscribed to. I'll need to look at it again. It's just annoying. I mean, it'd be good if there was a pop-up on whatever channel you're in and it said, you know, such and such, but I've got notifications on my phone, but I don't get any noise. They just they're in the background, and I can go and just tab and have a look at what they are. Like now, I've got about half a dozen notifications from Discord. Anyway. Well, we've got a grand total of 16 people watching the stream. Again, I'm going to start begging anybody who's watching the stream and you're on anything other than YouTube. If you prefer watching on Twitch, if you prefer watching on Kick, that's fine. But do me a favour, please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You don't have to watch it on YouTube, but just get that viewer count up. I need to try and get it up to that 1,000 mark. It'll take a long time to do it, but it goes quicker if people actually do what I ask now and again. It's not a lot to ask, just to go to YouTube, find my channel, which is easy to do, and then just subscribe. You need never go back to YouTube again. But if you subscribe and get to me 1,000, or get me to 1,000, I can make $1 or $2 for my retirement. I'm planning ahead here, guys. I've got 5 years to go before I retire, so I've set the goal for 5 years to get to 1,000. Come on. Mind you, I could be dead before then as well. Let's look at the bright side. Well, Matt's 10-5 up. Tommy and Popman are underway. Let's go to the bracket and we'll get the match wherever it is. Where the hell is it? There they are. It'll go live in a second once this refreshes. Hang on. I hate this bloody thing. That's amongst the other things that annoys me about this bracket. Right. Well, this table is a run-out dream. Look at this. It's a run-out dream, but Coldest Pillow has committed to the Reds. And he's got to duck in behind this other one right now if he can. And that's what he tried. And straight away, his chances have almost gone with that shot. He had to miss that red and get in behind it and out the back of it to play it into the same pocket there. And he's failed on that. Well, that shot that he played there needed bottom and right English if he was going to try and spin the cue ball into those 2 reds. Well, now he's hoping this is going to block the pocket. And it hasn't really. Well, you don't need to brab Nicker. So get another plan. Well, how did you get 10,000 subscribers? What stuff do you show? And are they all genuine subscribers, or did you buy them? I watched a video with a guy who created a second account on YouTube to show you what these rip-off merchants do with trying to sell you subscriptions on YouTube. I mean, it's illegal to do it to start with if you're a YouTube streamer, but this guy did it as a test, and he paid like, what did he pay? He paid about 40 quid on his credit card, right? And he signed up with this company that is supposed to add so many subscribers a month. He got like, I think he got like 20 early on, and then very quickly it died off because YouTube were deleting these false accounts. So you're just giving money away to these rip-off merchants that ask you to buy subscribers, all in a desperate bid to get to 1,000. And certainly I'm not going down that route. What the hell's happened to my YouTube little logo? Have I got double figures there and it's disappeared? I'll know if it goes back down to 9 that I need to widen that a little bit, that box. Well, this red has to follow the yellow in. Yeah, it must have gone to double figures, but it's not wide enough to show the 10. I think that's what's happened there. So I think we had 10 there for a second or two. It jumped down to 8. That was quick. Well, Matt could have finished better here. Oh, and he's came up fortunate as far as blocking the easy red's concerned. Coldest Pillow's got to go all out for the bank. It's all or nothing. I mean, he could try thin cutting that in, but I think his odds are far better if he banks it. And that was very well done. Under a big amount of pressure there. And unfortunately again, for Coldest Pillow, the break goes back to Matt. Right, quick tab. And we will see that they're still in that first rack, Popman and Tommy. Well, Matt's break has given him a ball. Still an open table. Matt's missed a yellow. And Coldest Pillow comes to the table, but it's not a run-out table. We've got the 8 blocked by the yellow. We've got the red blocked by the yellow and the 8. So, again, there's work to do for both players to get this rack in the bag. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. He's not telling us how he's got so many subscribers. Because, well, I don't know whether Whether he does lots of uploads or anything, I don't know. I think I looked at it one time and all I saw was music videos. I think that's all I saw. So there's obviously people trolling YouTube and finding his videos. That's how you get the hits. But normally you'd only get that amount of subscribers if you're a regular streamer or you're posting videos regularly. Right, I'm going to tab out for a minute, right? Because this rack isn't over. I'll be back in a second. Just hold on. I've probably broken this doing this. Right, hopefully this is going to fix itself. No, that hasn't fixed it. It's made it bloody worse. I shouldn't mess with it. Aye, it has gone to 10. Right, hold on. Just bear with me. I'm going to start wrecking things doing this. It's just annoying me that the 10 isn't showing. One music video has... Hopefully this will refresh. Oh, maybe I have broken it completely. Somebody type something, please. There we go, that's better. One music video has 45,000 views. Right, there's my 10 showing now, that's better. I had the box a little bit too tightly cramped, so the 10 wasn't showing, it was just showing a blank. But that's now fixed it, but anyway, the rack is still to be resolved. And, well, Coldest Pillow has got to improve his yellow. He's got to punch that yellow off the rail there where he is right now. The one that's above the red, he has to pop that yellow out. Well, I don't think that was very productive. I think he's backing himself into a corner doing that from the fact that he's leaving Matt with a problem, but at the same time he had a gilt-edge opportunity to bring that yellow around the table and out into the green pastures, or the blue pastures as they are with the cloth colour. He's done nothing to develop the yellow other than just tie things up even more. He might regret that, because Matt's the one with the onus to do something with the red where it is, where the 8 ball is. I don't think that was a wise move, Coldest Pillow. If that was me, I would have bumped that yellow out into play and then left it up to Matt to make a choice. As long as that red was sitting there, the yellow could be out the way. It makes no difference that Matt can see the red. He can't do anything with it other than bank it. You know, and that's the other thing Coldest Pillow has to think about. Matt could easily have a go at the bank in that red, and suddenly the rack's all over. And now Coldest Pillows back to square one, where the yellow's doing no good sitting there. Let's have a look. You know, why doesn't he just bank the yellow right now and leave the cue ball there? It's not going to make any difference. That red might go in off the 8 ball, as a matter of fact. That red, I'm pretty certain, will go, which is probably a reason why Coldest Pillow doesn't want to move anything and try and keep it tight. It doesn't look like that red goes from here, but when you get round the table and look at it, I'm fairly certain that red will go in off the 8 ball. Yeah, you're right enough. It does. See, when you're sitting here looking at that, you'd swear that red's never gone in. But when you get round there and you look at it, you could get a bust through there. It's going to go in off the 8 ball. So maybe Coldest Pillow had the right idea in what he was doing, now that I think about it. Well, it might not be a... See, that this is a... You know, you could easily shoot yourself in the foot here. Coldest Pillow has to hope that this goes wrong here for Matt. But he's just going to dead weight this. And there you go. Now, can he get a fair shot in that 8 ball? Yes, he can. And it's all... Or was it fair? Yes, it was. So it all sort of petered out there for Coldest Pillow. Well, I still go back to what I said earlier on semi-pro. I think that Coldest Pillow should have banked that yellow into play. If that was the situation where the red ball was, I think he should have banked his yellow into play to at least give himself the chance to run out, because he was never going to be able to do it where it was sat and where the red was. But you live or die by your shot choices anyway in all of these games. Right, quick look, and we will see that we're 1 apiece in the match with Tommy and Popman. And Coldest Pillow's break. He's still trailing by 5 now, but he's got a number of balls in the break. He's committed to the yellows, and that's a pretty good cut. Well, the worst thing about it is he's got a dodgy cut into the side, and the cue ball is leaking up table. Now, I don't think he's going to catch that red by the side pocket. I'm looking at how thick or thin this has to be. He might catch that red. It's hard to say. I can't read the angles of the cue balls coming off these balls at all. He's squeezed it up table, but not enough room. And what's more, this table, again, crying out to be run out. It looks all too easy to get the job done here for Matt. Well, I know what I'm doing. I'm dealing with these 2 reds in this bottom right hand corner straight away where we are. The one along the rail, the one in the side rail. I'm getting rid of them, and then I'm worrying about what's going on up table. You know, you've got to see, he's already taken away 2 balls that would make it easy to get to the 8 ball. That's the bit I don't like. You know, the fact that he's got rid of the 2 balls that were up there that would make it simple enough, or let's just say improve your odds a lot better in getting good in the 8 ball. See, now he's finished short. You know, that suddenly it's all gone pear-shaped because he didn't do it in the order I would have done it. And, you know, that again was a wrong shot choice, only in my opinion. Everybody else watching could argue with me, and semi-pro more than likely, but I think you had to get rid of those 2 balls at the start, because then you don't have to worry about them. and you're working up table, and plus he took away the 2 balls that were good to go on the 8 ball. And Coldest Pillow has to get out to punish him for that, because that, as far as I'm concerned, was just wrong shot choice. And now what you don't do here is do something daft and end up behind that red. Right hand English to check the cue ball. He's got to hit it enough to get back out, though. He doesn't, you know, although he's checked the cue ball, it'll kill the cue ball. And that's perfect. Well, that's a rack given away there by Matt, because he had a wide open table, and what he did wrong was the pattern. The pattern was wrong, and that's how he ended up doing what he did. And that cue ball has gone south from Matt, and Coldest Pillow is going to have ball in hand here, trailing before, and he's got a table that, once again, looking at the yellows, there's a problem with the yellow right in the middle of the table up top. That's the problem. It's blocked by the 2 reds. If you choose the reds, the problem is that one, which is right on the point. Semi will say that'll go in. I don't think it'll go in. It's horrible where it's sat. So, although with the 2 shots, if you want to improve it, you can improve the red. But Coldest Pillow has played his free shot, and like I say, he has to get on that yellow in the middle of the table up top. And this is going to be his downfall, this ball here. And already he's running into trouble here. He's got the pot up table, and he must somehow get on that yellow. Well, this ain't ideal. Now, he could cut this in and check the cue ball up with right English and leave an awkward cut, but the yellow doesn't go, so forget that idea. I thought that yellow might have went there. Oh, that was a great effort, but as I said right at the start, that yellow was always going to be the problem if you committed to the yellows. But having said that, this red that's on that jaw might well be a lifeline for Coldest Pillow. He's just got to live in hope that it will. Well, I think Matt's has he done himself in here? No, he can see the red. I thought he was snookered. Well, you would think that Matt's going to have to plan ahead here and how he can try and develop that red. He's no good where he is right now. He's got another opportunity if he can get somehow good on, even if it was one of these reds, to bump the other red onto that red. One of the 2 would do. And I don't think he can get to that. Can he? No, he can. And he's tried a little bump. He tried the little cannon to billiard the red in. So Coldest Pillow has got a gift of an opportunity here to get another one back. So it proved to be that the red was the lifeline for Coldest Pillow, because Matt didn't get the ball in the hole off it. And Coldest Pillow has pinched another one, and suddenly the score doesn't look quite as bad. And Coldest Pillow breaking as well. Could be a big couple of rack swing here, but nothing's gone in. And what's more, I don't think Matt's got a shot. I don't think when he's got nothing that's obviously going to go into a hole, I think he can get the red up the table. I think that goes. Yeah. I mean, he could play the combo into the side, but I think, well, that's what he's done. And the other red goes up top. That won't do any harm. He could push that red up the rail. And a little dink back to get rid of the only other red down this end of the table. And this rack looks, I'll say that again, it looks as if it's going rapidly in favour of MC Clarkey. Well, that's all you can do, is just hang in there. Matt's made a couple of shot choice mistakes that have cost him racks at the end of the day. But that's a very solid recovery rack for Matt, and that will take him onto the hill. 12 racks to 8. And balls have gone in. Quick tab out to have a look at what's happening. And Popman has got himself some daylight between him and Tommy. He's 3-1 up. Won't be long until we join that. And Matt is going for the kill. Well, this is a deft little dinky shot just to come out the back of that. It looks as if he's going forward, though. He is coming round. I thought he was going to go forward and come up. See, I can't even read the shot that a player's playing in this table. Well, this is all too easy now, isn't it? The way this rack's panned out. Well, Matt's got room for improvement, which you can only get by match play. It was solid enough, but the chances were there for Coldest Pillow. But Matt will be relieved he's got over the line by 13 racks to 8. Coldest Pillow, it ain't over. You've always, well, it is over, isn't it? No, it isn't. It's the winner's side, I'm thinking, in the other match. Take it all back. So it's a good result for Matt, but he's made a couple of wee shot choices that were wrong, and he was made paid for it. But as long as you get better as the tournament goes on, that's all that matters. So he'll be glad that's done and dusted. So good luck to Coldest Pillow for his win-loss side match. Meanwhile, we'll dive straight in and catch what's left of this one, with Popman and Tommy race to 11 on the win-loss side. Well, I was fairly impressed with how you started, Coldest Pillow. I mean, it was okay for 4 racks, and then it ran away from you. And then Matt gave you those opportunities to get back in it, you know. He just, I wouldn't say he was getting complacent, but as I say, the couple of the choices he made backfired on him because he got them in the wrong order to make his life easier. And then, you know, once you do that and then you go funny in that ball, which he did a couple of times, then that's how he ended up not running out. Well, it's the cue ball that does it to you. It's simply something you're completely alien to, this cue ball, and the pace that you're hitting the cue ball at. And of course, juicing it up too much is the other biggest cardinal sin in this game. Is, you know, you've got to just watch that tip on the cue ball. Don't forget you're using a snooker cue, and it's probably exaggerated even more how you control that tip on that cue ball to get the stun draw working. That gives you that better control. And black ball, for pretty much everybody, is always going to be a tough game to come to in an event like this, simply because you don't play any other time during the year. You're only getting your table time in practice while you're playing these matches, so it's very difficult to adapt. Although, having said that, you only have to look at Albinario and Cobra at how well they adapt, and that's what it is about. It's about adapting and surviving. Finding that touch, moving the cue ball. Well, Tommy isn't letting Potman get away. He's back to within one, and it's his break. No, I don't think Matt does. I think he's been mostly 9-ball and snooker over the years. But like I say, you know, Matt's been around virtual pool for a long time, so he's got his mouse dialed in, and you know, he'll adapt pretty quickly to that touch. But you won't, you'll never see him regularly coming in here and playing black ball. That's the last thing in his mind. So Potman, with an open table, commits to the yellows. And again, it's not a great table to try and run out, especially where he is right now, where that yellow is. It's not very accessible. I mean, he could have rolled the yellow onto his own yellow to try and knock it in or over the pocket there, down the right rail. And one other thing is that red goes in, that red goes in, and when those two reds are out the way, that opens up the 8-ball. Well, I don't know that was a wise move. Because now he's made the yellow even more difficult to get to, but well, I think the only way you're getting to that yellow there is getting to this one. And again, it's too cramped to get in there. Has he got there? I think he has. Well, this is just a dead weight dink. But the red's blocked with the 8-ball into the corner. Now, does he chip this and try and bump the red out the way and still hold for the cut in the yellow? Chip it in, catch the red, keep the cue ball there or thereabouts for the pot on the yellow. Well, see, he's just let the cue ball get away there. He should have checked it up there with a bit of left-hand English and bumped that in and played for the bump in the red. Now he's just got to hope that he gets lucky here. And he's miscued. But he's hit a rail, which he'll be relieved about. And of course, with all that cover on the table for Tommy. It was easy to come up with a problem for Potman, although this is not difficult to hit. But he's got to get a ball to a rail. And I think he would do no harm in trying to roll this dead weight. But he's got to catch the rail though. And he has caught the rail. And now Tommy just has to get his pattern right. And he should be out. But he's got to use those two reds when he pots that red. And he hasn't. I'm surprised at that. That could be a big mistake. I think that's a big mistake. I'm sure he had to play that red onto the pot. Semi-Pro would have done that. Semi-Pro would have done that every day of the week. He would have bumped that red onto the two reds to pot the red and bring the two of them into play. Tommy's now ducking for cover again. And he may well get a second bite at the cherry. And that's a good shot. That's a very good shot. Although he's going to be in trouble again. No, he isn't. Well, it's an easy hit for Potman. Now, does he go all out for the thin cut over the pocket? I think he's got to. He's got to go for the thin cut over the pocket. In or over the pocket. All or nothing. He doesn't look as if he's doing it though. Yeah, he's got to play it. It's not great odds that it's going to go in, but you never know. Oh, that's well played. Oh, is he going to get oh, I thought he was going to get another go at it. Well, Tommy's got to take that red right now where the 8 ball is. And he's more than likely going to be out. Well, hang on a minute. He's made a proper balls up here because he's not got out far enough. Oh, that's a big mistake. But again, he's ducked for cover. And good luck to Potman in hitting this yellow. And he's going to need, well, that's going to open up from that side. I think. I don't know whether he can play this plain ball. I think that's going to open up. And he's going to go at the short rail first. Oh, that's excellent. What a shot. It was touch and go that he could get the line there, but he just caught it. And this is a great rack for Potman to win. And we're back. We've suddenly got a 4-2 lead here for Potman. Well, that was an excellent escape from Potman, and I go back to that shot earlier on Semi-Pro. That when those two reds were on that back rail, Tommy should have played his red off the two of them and brought them into play, and then he would have been committed to get the run out. What he did was he potted the red clean into the pocket and left the two of them there, and then he ended up faffing about for 2 minutes, putting Potman in trouble, but Potman got out each time. And that's how things can suddenly turn against you when you don't get the job done and deal with the problem. And he left the problem there. He chose not to play the red off the two reds, and that's in the end that's really cost him why he lost the rack. And the 2 or 3 problems that Potman were given, he managed to get out of them and deserved to win the rack in the end. Yes, this is the race to 11 on the 1-loss side. Race to 13 in the winners, race to 11 on the 1 loss. Oh, I think race to 11's fair enough. You know, it gives a chance, especially when it's a, you know, alternate break. I think, you know, race to 9 and you end up 3-0 down, you're back to the wall. Race to 11's giving you a wee bit more scope, not a great deal, but there's always that chance for the match to turn the other way. Potman can widen the gap here. So the golden rule here is anything but straight on this last red. And that'll do as far as that goes. Now he may well end up playing this red in past the yellow in the right side pocket here, if he just dinks across. He's got to go across far enough if he's going to do that, and the angle's perfect for that. Well, he's playing it soft to hold it for the other side, and that's worked out as well also. That's perfect. Confident enough to play the more controlled shot and hold the cue ball. And it's now a 5-3 lead for Potman. Tommy Braken hasn't had any joy. And again, there's problems at either end of the table. If you commit to the yellows, you've got a yellow that's blocked with the red in the bottom right. But all the other yellows are okay. Apart from the one that Potman is looking at, it's the one that's also blocked with the red. I don't think that yellow... Well, you could certainly push the yellow into the jaws if it came to it. And Potman's... He's trying his best to create more problems for himself. He's still okay as far as that goes and with the other yellow that's up there, but he can't can he get over to this other side? Well, he's not letting the cue ball run, so he's obviously got another idea here. Well, if he'd gone a wee bit further, he'd have been on that red. He might just roll through. See, the angle he's got in this red, the cue ball again wants to leak away. It just wants to get away from him, the cue ball here. Again, he's managing to judge the pace that the cue ball's running at, held it well. Just, you know, more or less pocket weight there to get him on this problem red. Well, he's in two minds here whether to pot the red or play the combo up the rail to get the red in or over the pocket. That's what he's contemplating. See, now he's got himself in no man's land. That red, where he's sitting, will go. It's tight, but it will go. Once again, though, I think it's more or less in or over you want this red. If it goes in, that's a bonus. And he's played it perfect. And now he's lined up for the combo. Now it sets me wondering why Potman lost, what was it, 13-5 against Semi-Pro. Because he's not playing like a player that's lost 13-5 to Semi-Pro in his first match. Well, he was dead straight in the red, so he couldn't really do much with it. So once again, if it goes in, it goes in. But if it's pocket weight, it'll be in or over. And perfect. So Potman, from, what was it? With like 2 racks apiece more or less when we joined. He's now won at least 4 in a row, if not 5. And has a 6-2 lead. Now your red drops into the side pocket, and these reds are sitting very healthily. This is a perfect opportunity for Potman here. The red that he's near on the top left hand side, he dinks that in, takes the one that's at the above the 8 ball as we look. This is just a little dink. Stop the cue ball leaking away. Just pocket weight, let the cue ball angle to the rail do. You see, even that's leaked away. He would have liked to have dealt with that one up there where he was. And now he's just ran away from it a bit too far. But the only worry for the progress of Potman in this rack is that red that's next to the 8 ball. Because if you're going to tidy up down this end of the table here, where he's going now, and I don't know whether that's going to be any good. That's no good to him at all. But he can stun this red in and leave the cut on this red that he's near. He's got to just stun it enough and come back enough off this red that he avoids the side pocket here. Got to be careful. He can't. He looks as if he's running forward. Well, you see that. I'm not so certain that that was the best move either. Well, he might well get another goal because Tommy's got a problem down this end, but I think Potman should have stunned that in and come back for that red there. He chose to sort of play the simpler shot and trying to roll the red in, but where he left the cue ball, he was leaving a high cut in that red, where he may well have been trying to bump into this red in 8 ball, but which he didn't really need to, he just had to get on it. But Tommy's immediately dealt with his problem, and Tommy's the one under pressure though. He's trailing by 4 and got to find a way to get back in this, but you know, Potman doesn't want to be given much encouragement to Tommy. Tommy's going to have a similar problem here in how he controls this last yellow to hold for that 8 ball, because it's only going into 2 pockets. Well, it'll go into the bottom left, so that would be 3, but well, it'll go into the side as well, so that's 4. I can't count, but this is just tricky to judge how you control the cue ball here. And he's judged it pretty well. Well, this is a rack that's got away from Potman, because Potman had a very strong opportunity there to run away from Tommy with this rack. Tommy now breaking in rack number 10. He's had a ball. He's got to go for the yellows, I would think. The reds are actually not too bad either. The only thing would be if he's... See, this is just a slight problem. It's got to be the yellows. Oh, he doesn't want to go there though. He's still okay. He's got the bailout yellow down table, but the idea was to get rid of this one as well, I think. And then he could have got rid of the other yellow near the 8 ball, because that's also going to give him a headache in trying to get out. I think again, he's good on that yellow up table to pot it and come out for the yellow into the side. And the longer this goes on not getting to that yellow in the side, the more I think he should be fine though. He's just going to roll that in, roll the one up top. Make sure he's not interfering with the 8 ball when he pots this last yellow. He should be fine. He just needs to make sure he has the right angle though. And that is absolutely plumb perfect. So it's a 3-rack swing. Potman could have won that previous rack. Tommy got it. He's got this one. And now he's back to just within 2. So even the psychological side of things, Potman's under a bit of pressure to actually come up with a response in his break. And the cue ball's gone south. And Tommy has ball in hand with a free shot, which you've got to think he's going to deal with this end of the table first. Oh, the red's not got in, that won't matter. But, well, he can get to that one. It's not going to be particularly easy because this other one's a problem in getting good on. So the challenge for Tommy is finding his way out in this table, and it's not, again, something that is a given that he's going to get it done. The challenge is there, he's got the ability to do it. And I think he's ended up with the wrong angle in that red behind the 8 ball, because he's, I think he can bump the 8 and still have a shot in this red, can he? I think he can. If he goes forward, I think he can. I think he's got to go forward. Is he going to catch half of the 8 or is he going to catch too much of it? That's the problem. I think the cut's a lot thinner. He might catch the wrong side of the 8 and end up the table high like that. Yeah. So that's now made life very difficult. It's now suddenly become a lot more difficult to get out in this table. Now he's got to punch this in if he's going to try and come back for that red up top. Well, he's went for the cross bank. He's got that. Can't see enough of the red in the open. Can he see enough of that red to bank it down onto this red without fouling the yellow? And can he get the cue ball out of the way as well? I don't think so. Welcome to Tyler. You're watching a one-loss side match in the Black Ball World Championships. You've missed the main event of the evening, which has just finished, the match between MC Clarkey and Coldest Pillow. What did Matt win that by? 13, was it 13-8? At the end of it. I've totally forgotten that already. That's ridiculous. Yes, I was right. My memory isn't that bad. Well, Potman has the similar problem that Tommy's had up at the top end of the table, all of this rack. Potman's yellow won't go. And Tommy just bumping his red around the corner to get it out into play. Tommy's got control of this bottom left. The question is whether Potman can get this to follow in. Well, he's not playing it. Now, can you get that yellow to follow that red in at that angle? Potman's had a pop at the yellow into the side. It's come out into the clear. Well, Tommy can certainly get to that red over the pocket. It's a question of whether he just tries to improve the one that's up there and cut it along the rail, and whether the cue ball will still be able to see this other red that's over the pocket after he plays this, because if it goes in, as he looks as if he's reverse banking it down onto this red. That's what he's trying. Oh, it might help. Oh no, it's double kissed the yellow. And the 8 ball right over the side pocket. You've got to say that Tommy's very strong favourite right now. Unless Potman can push that yellow to follow the red in, I think it's the only way he's going to have a chance of getting out. And the other problem also Potman's got is his other yellow stuck in the rail above the 8 ball. That's horrible as well. So the odds are not good for Potman here. I've just remembered the reason that Steve isn't around tonight as well. I think Wednesday's also a golf day for him. Wednesdays and Fridays, I think. And that's where he probably is right now. Well, Tommy's... he might need to tweak the cue ball a bit to hold a line to get to this red, but he's obviously trying to hit the red and push it onto his other one. Well, that was the problem. You see, the problem was the line past that yellow up top. He had to, I think, tweak that with a tiny bit of right, so that when it hit the cushion, it would straighten up rather than open out and go to the long rail too soon. So Potman's now, well, his bluff's been called getting a free shot, because now he's committed to do one thing or the other: improve his yellow in the right side rail above the 8, or get rid of this red over the pocket. And once he does that, then it's anybody's game. And all of a sudden, from getting that free shot, Potman's turned the rack in its head, and now he's the very strong favourite. And he's just going to bide his time, hoping he maybe gets another 2 shots, and then he can deal with the one in the rail. Tommy's got a hit in the red, a legal hit. And Potman right now should deal with that yellow that's on the side rail and get it out to play. I mean, there's a danger he could leave a bank in the red, but he's got to make an effort to get out and improve the table. And he's got the yellow there that's doing nothing where it is, unless he wants to leave an awkward cut. He's going to just keep these balls over the pocket here and bide his time. No doubt about that. But if this doesn't go in, Tommy might have some sort of bank on this red. And the rack could turn in one shot. Well, this bank has to be made, but Potman might regret faffing about here. And that's another reason, because Tommy's now blocked the path for the yellow ball. And suddenly Potman is in big trouble. He's in big trouble because he's trying to keep the red in cover, and either way he might end up potting a ball here. He's trying to pot a ball and dink in behind his yellow, and remember he's got to hit a rail. Well, he looks as if he's trying to get out and improve the yellow. Well, that's what, and he hasn't scratched. But I think again he left that way too late. He had the chance earlier in the rack to have improved that yellow. Now might all work in his favour. But he was forced into making the move rather than taking the initiative. And it might work out for him in the end. But this is the fine line between success and failure. You know, everybody can say, well, you know, Potman can say, well, I did everything right and it all worked out. But, you know, in the bat of an eyelid, everything could just turn on its head. But he's good to go. And he stemmed the flow from Tommy. He opens the gap to 3 racks. Break goes back to Tommy under pressure though. He's got to get a ball or a shot and do something in this rack to just stay in touch. And I think that's also come up dry. But look at the table. I mean, this is a very good table to run out. Yep, you're right enough, semi-pro. You know, he had 2 or 3 opportunities when he had, don't forget, when he had control of this bottom end of the table. He had loads of time to deal with that yellow and refused to do it. And then he was forced into doing it. Because had he not got cover on that last red of Tommy's, Tommy was out. It was only when he was forced to do it, he did it. And so he never, you know, it was a sort of, I don't know. I mean, he let Tommy try and take the initiative. Potman had everything in his favour, and he didn't take the initiative himself, and he could have had the rack done. And, you know, if he didn't get the hit on that draw shot on that yellow, he was dead. He was done for. So he's a bit fortunate that he did get out in the end. But with this table, the way it's laid after Tommy's dry break, Potman can erase those thoughts from his memory with the way these balls are sitting. So you would think he's going to have to leave the last red up in that top corner pocket to get to the 8 ball into the left side. That's the way it looks. You know, he can take the one that he's on now and deal with these 2 down here, or deal with these 2 down here and deal with the other. Now, my worry would be, if I'm taking that one, I'm studding it in, I've got to get it in, cleaning it across for this one. If I'm leaving the cue ball somewhere here, I'm cutting that in to drop down onto the red there, then it should be simple to go onto the 8 ball. So that's the first part done. So now, if he takes this one, goes to the rail, comes out, leaves maybe a wee bit of shallower angle on this red, he'll go to the rail and come out, and then he just dinks that in dead weight, and he's home and dry in this rack. Now he's looking around and looking around, but to me that's the shot there. You want to be making it easy to get on the 8 ball. So he's looking around getting his bearings. Now, to me, there's not much more to think about. I mean, it's staring you in the face what you're going to do here. You're going to leave the angle. So the cue ball's going to come out in a similar line where that red is. You don't want to open the angle too much. See, that'll do. The only thing here is that he doesn't interfere with that yellow that's on a line above that 8 ball. He needs to make sure he's well away from that. You see, already he's overhit that by a country mile. But he's fortunate that the yellow hasn't come into play. So now it's just a deft dink. The cue ball's going to come around and he'll have something like that maybe, or there, for a roll in the side pocket. And, you know, it was all easy in the end, wasn't it? So Potman taking full advantage of Tommy's dry break. The table was perfect for running out. You know, that's what you have to do in this tournament. You know, when you get a table like that, well, you have to do it in any tournament, especially 9 ball and 10 ball. When the table's open and there isn't really major issues, you must get the job done. It's the only way you're going to apply pressure to your opponent. And it's the other major thing is it's the only way you're ever going to be a contender in these events. If you have all these opportunities and you can't get the job done, then you ain't going to be around long. So, Potman's break. It came up dry. Tommy's had a go and had nothing. Potman back at the table. Now, what would you do here? Well, again, you've got a major problem. These two here are doing nothing. You've got a bit of a clutter here, mostly reds though, and you've got a yellow block in the pocket. Now, I don't know an awful lot about the Steam Deck Coldest pillow, but what I would say is the Steam Deck not made to be compatible with all the games in Steam, or is there only a certain amount of games that are compatible with it? I haven't a clue. Well, I suppose I would assume that Steve knows what you're talking about. I mean, it's a handheld gaming machine, isn't it, on Steam? And I'm assuming that it is made to play Steam games. Right, Steam Deck should work. Well, Brainful Out knows a lot more about it than I do, I'll tell you that. Well, Potman commits to the yellows, and I'll tell you something, that's maybe not a bad outcome, the nudge that he's had there, because he's set these two yellows up as pretty much a dead set combo. Not yellow, did I say reds? I meant yellows if I did, because I'm not listening to what I'm saying. Well, he was hoping for a little bump there. He was hoping for a little bump, I think, because that would then have maybe given him a chance to get to that yellow. Even then it's tight. So just playing for a bit of manoeuvre in there, manoeuvring his yellow ball into a better position. You know what I've just remembered? I've just remembered that there's Scottish Premier League football on tonight. Which I think has just started, so I'll get to watch that once this match is over. Oh, well, that's a poor one. That is a really poor shot from Tommy. He's taken his eye off the ball there. That's a big blunder. And Potman with ball in hand and a free shot can easily deal with that problem up the top left. Oh, that could be a big, big mistake from Tommy, especially. That's what you don't want to do when you're 8-4 down, is not get a ball to a rail. Aren't the Celtic fans waving the Palestinian flag? I haven't the foggiest idea. I haven't seen anything. Mind you, it's not Twitter now, it's X, isn't it? I think that's what it's called. I think most people still call it Twitter. Well, Popman, you've been handed a gift here from Tommy, and I mean, whenever your opponent does something daft like that, you've got to punish them, and Popman's immediately gone pear-shaped. Yeah, us old-timers stick to... Yeah, you're right, it does sound like a porn site. You're right enough, but the old-timers like you and me and everybody else will call it Twitter forevermore. I don't know why the hell they called it X. I mean, what's the difference between leaving it as Twitter, that everybody knows, to calling it a bloody letter of the alphabet? I've had a Twitter account for years, but I've hardly used it. Oh, well. Popman's... He's trying to complicate things as much as he can. This is what Popman's great at. He's great at having a good table with a good situation and then bugging it up. You know, now he's going to play the cut in the yellow, and he's going to have to get a sight on his last yellow. And well, there you go. He deserved that at the end of the day, because he's made a complete arse of this visit from a table that was not difficult if you just do things the right way, and he's got himself in a hole. And this is how Popman loses 13-5 to semi-pro, doing daft stuff like that. And you can see that he's perfectly capable with the racks that he has won, but then he'll do something numpty-ish. And you've got to cut that crap out your game. You know, you think about it, you know, what's even more annoying for you as the player is you saw Tommy do a complete mess up, just pushing at a ball, not getting to a rail. He's giving you a gift to immediately deal with a problem, and then you go ahead and put yourself into a couple of problems yourself, and then you're doomed to failure. And now, Tommy is in the same situation. He's now got 2 shots. Popman having to kick. Didn't get the hit. Everything goes. 8 balls a bit fiddly where it's sitting. But if all you're going to do is play this as your last ball and roll it in, you're on the 8 ball, no problem. So this rack's over. I'm saying that right now. That's all provided Tommy does it in the right order. He's going to have to leave that red next to the yellow as his last ball and just roll the 8 ball up table. So this is it, just a straightforward roll in and a roll up. And Tommy, I wouldn't necessarily say he's back in touch. He's still going to be trailing by 3, but Popman's giving him as much assistance as he can with this rack and the last rack. And Tommy's break. And a red has gone in, another red has gone in, and these reds, well, there's one immediate problem. The one that's nearest him above the 2 yellows is the big problem. But the yellows are sitting really good. They're sitting better, if only because, you know, he's got this one controlling the pocket. The problem is those two there. That's the big issue. Now, he can deal with one of them, but the cue ball again wants to leak away to the right hand side here. But he might be able to go to the rail and get out. I think it might be worthwhile playing that. Even if he comes out far enough, he'll have a bailout shot either way. I think he's got to try and get out of this. Is he trying to hold it? I'm not sure what that was he's played. He's obviously played for something down here, but I think if he'd gone forward and tried to get to the rail, maybe he would have bumped to red, but maybe he would have got out as well. Hard to say. I don't know whether he had enough angle that he could work that. But we'll see if it pans out for him, because he's still got a reasonably good table, and this shot here should get him on the yellow. He's got to get out. Oh, but the pace has let him down, and he's also just created a lifeline for himself, because the yellow's rattled in the jaws and blocked to red. And Tommy will rely on that, giving him another chance. And of course, Potman is gaining control of this corner pocket, but he's hit that too hard. And I think, well, Tommy's now fully committed, because he can see the yellow. Oh dear, what's he done? Oh, he'll be relieved at that. He's still in a horrible situation though. He'll be relieved that the red's gone in, but he's still got the red, or his yellow as a lifeline where it's stuck. Well, who's going to be the brave one? Well, Potman's not exactly in a position where he could do anything brave. But what he can do is play his red that's nearest the pocket here and just make it awkward for Tommy. Duck in behind the other red. I don't know that he wants to pot this red. This one here's the one I'd be playing. I'd be just playing that and punching it maybe onto the short rail and sending the cue ball behind this line here. That looks easy enough to do. I don't know why he's not doing it. Well, I think he's missed a trick there. You know, he's not forced Tommy into hitting a ball, and he should have easily have forced Tommy into kick. And Potman might have had two shots. He might have been able to deal with the problem. And now we're back to square one. Well, he can't keep potting balls. That's not going to give him any advantage. And the other thing is, now that yellow is loose up the table, Tommy's got a strong chance of hitting anything anyway if Potman leaves him snookered. He's got a big target to hit if he has to kick it that yellow up the top rail. Well, Potman's got an angle to run here. He's got to be brave. He's got the angle to run and get to that red. Well, he's digging back. Again, I don't know why. I don't know why he did that. If that was me, I would have been potting that into the side and running a cue ball to try and improve the red. Okay, I might have ended up with nothing, but I'm trying to win the rack. You know, Potman's trying not to lose the rack at the moment. He's certainly not trying to win it. So that was an opportunity that was there with the line that Potman had on the red into the side to actually do some damage up top. And again, Potman's got to be careful and keep this cue ball down this end of the table, but he's got to get cover on that one on the right side near the pocket to stop Tommy getting to that. Tommy's simply going to cut this yellow over the pocket now, given the chance to block it. So this is all or nothing for Potman. And Potman's, well, he's given Tommy something to deal with. He's going to try and get cover, and he's got Potman in a hole. Then harking back to that shot that Potman had in the side, the red was into the side. He had enough angle to try and stun it down, either catch the rail or stun it directly into the red. Never did it. And now he finds himself right in the mix. Of course, what you can't do is push the cue ball into the shot rail and jump it over the balls, can you, semi-pro? You can't do that. That's an illegal shot. Well, Tommy with 2 shots will deal with the problem. Is that what you try? Yeah, I didn't think that was a legal shot. You know, you'll see players doing that in 9-ball on the odd occasion where they're maybe hooked and I don't know, they'll maybe bump it into the rail to get it to jump over the other ball. Well, maybe not that often now that I think about it, because they've got jump sticks, haven't they? So they'll probably go the more conventional route. There might be the rare occasion where they do that. But having said that, it's probably about the only game you can do that legally, where it's not a foul. Probably do it in 10-ball as well. Well, Tommy just has to keep winning racks and get rid of this deficit, and has to rely on Potman being as helpful as he's trying to be. Potman breaks off with a 2-rack lead now. Well, he's got a couple of balls. And again, how often do we say this, but we've got problems. We've got reds all clustered. You've got a yellow that's hard to get to, and yellows are certainly going to be the favoured set that Potman's going for. Well, I'll tell you the one thing that's amazed me tonight. I've got 10 people at the moment, well, down to 9, no sooner have I said that. But I always thought that Twitch got the most viewers. But YouTube's the one that's the most all night. And I'm surprised there's not very many on Kick either. Mind you, if Bedhead was here, he'd have been on Kick. Well, 2 shots ago, that red got bumped up near the black, near the 8-ball, I should say. So, Tommy has got a lifeline again. And Potman's the one with the problem to solve. Now, clearly, if he pots the red that's, the yellow that's out in the open up there, and pots that and comes around the table and deals with this red down where he is, he still has a chance that he can have a final shot on that red, that yellow up there, if he could possibly, I mean, if for some reason he managed to get down here, he could pot the yellow and play the 8 ball up table or down into this corner. The chances are he won't have an angle that allows him to do that. He might have to cut that yellow. He's going for the one that is up top. If that was me, I would have probably went for the cut and tried to get down onto this one and then find my way back up for the awkward one to get to the 8 ball. It was a tall order. Well, that shot there by Tommy's left pot man with no sight on the one that's down here. And can't get enough of the yellow that's nearest him to pop it onto the one that's over the pocket. Oh. Well, it's asking a lot to drop onto this red to knock it into the side pocket. That's way too tight because it doesn't go up past the 8 ball. So, at the moment, Potman is sort of in the driving seat. But I don't think that there's any value in potting anything here until he knows he can get good on the 8 ball, but he can't do that until he deals with that. Well, that's dealt with the 8 ball. Problem is now he's hooked. And suddenly Tommy's the favourite. And Tommy, within the next couple of minutes, could be back within 1. And Potman's completely missed his ball. So everything that could go wrong with that shot has done. Tommy's got a free shot. He's getting rid of Potman's yellow ball and he's now fully committed. Because the 8 ball's very available. But is he going to be committed enough to try the run out, or is he trying to put Potman back in trouble? Looks like it. No, he's got the combo. I think that was maybe more of a bonus that the combo's gone in. And the reason I say that is he's not exactly sitting perfect on either of the reds. Now, this is not great, but he can easily duck for cover again and just bide his time. And that's the right thing to do. But in this game, anything can happen. Potman could kick this yellow in the pocket somewhere. And you would think that that's probably the only way Potman's going to get out of this, is actually knocking the yellow in a pocket. Well, it's not a bad result. I mean, if Tommy wants to try and get out, he's going to have to cut the red into the side, and I don't know that he can get enough of it. He may well just be... He's got to be careful here, because if he's going to play the pot up top, he has to make sure he's... if he misses it or hangs it up over the jaws, that he's getting cover. So he's playing a two-way shot. That was clever. He's played the bank. If it goes in, fine. If it doesn't, the cue ball's running into a safe position up behind his ball. So that was a good, well thought out shot. And again, Potman's missed a hit. So this time, Tommy can go for the kill. And it's all about what order he fancies taking these in. Well, he's got it. That one that's. I mean, he can easily play that as a combo onto the one over the pocket. But does he really want to be doing that if it came to it? And already he's awkward here. Well, I don't. The last thing I'd want to do is be playing that red. That red is right in the pocket. I wouldn't want to be playing that red. Now he's got to. He can't see the other one. And this is difficult to judge how it's going to come out of the pocket, this cue ball. He's right in there. Well, what he has got is not easy. The potting angle into the corners, sending that cue ball over this direction. Now, if he dead weights it, he's still going to hold it and leave an awkward cut in the 8 ball for the rack. If he cuts it into the side, the cue ball's going anywhere. Well, good luck with this, because it ain't pretty, I'll tell you. He's right on the jaw. Well, this could be a pivotal rack in the match here. He was never going to be great in the 8 ball. But this to get back within 1, got to watch that cue ball in the side pocket. Pressure shot. He's digging in. Watch the cue ball. He's well away from that. Oh, now. Well, this is tricky as well for Potman. The question is I mean, he's got to come off this yellow. He might end up bumping the 8 ball if he's doing that. He's got to dig into this and maybe play for the bump in the 8 ball. Or is he trying to just dead weight it, catch the jaw? I don't. Is he going to scratch? Or is he catch the jaw? Well, he's going the other way. Well, this certainly is as tough as you could ask. It's off the rail enough to make the cut up table, but big shot. In fact, it's so big a shot, he's not risking it. Has he? He hasn't left a bank. Well, we might end up. Now, was that touching? It was touching the 8 ball. That's why he played away from it. I just noticed that up in the HUD there. So that actually was a big advantage there for Tommy. This is tough for Potman. Well, he's in a similar position. He could play the cut. It's going to be difficult to keep this safe. Sometimes you've got to bite the bullet and be brave. You know, if you're going to go down, die with your sword in your hand. That's what I say. It's tough to keep this safe. Well, he did have a go at it. Now he has to get lucky. Well, it shouldn't be that difficult. Roll it at pocket pace. If it catches the jaw, it should go in, and that may well just drop in dead weight. That's perfect. So we have definitely got a match on now here. Potman was 6-2 up, and now he's only one in front. Tommy's break, balls are going in, problems are on the table still. We've got 2 yellows and a red tied up on the right side. We've got the red blocked by the yellow down in this bottom right hand corner. So it's one of these racks where there's problems either end of the table. And that cue ball's heading south. So Popman comes to the table. It's still open, and he has 2 problems to deal with. Well, he's got 1 problem if he's going to deal with the yellows. Tell a lie, he's got 2 with the yellows as well. He's got this problem here, and he's got that there. Well, that's almost dealt with everything. That yellow isn't going in. He's still probably going to commit to the yellows. Oh, or is he? And this is where you scratch your head and you're thinking, well, if I do take that, if I cut that red that's up behind the yellow up there, how do I deal with this red down the table here? How do I get out from this visit? Oh, good evening to Bankster. Well, this is our second match of the night. You missed the MC Clarkey match with Coldest Pillow earlier on. And Matt got through that by 13 racks to 8. This is a 1-loss side match. Popman having a 6-2 lead has saw that wither away. And we're now in the balance here as to how this match could turn out. And Popman has finally committed to the yellows. And now when you look at that yellow that way, it still doesn't go in my opinion. But he's possibly got a chance to get a bump here. He needs to spin the cue ball though, so it makes the pot more difficult. Yeah, no joy. And immediately Tommy's looking favourite. Well, Popman again did the right thing in blocking the pocket. Well, the nerves will be jangling now. More so for Popman, I think, than Tommy. Tommy's just glad he's back in the match. Because all he could do was just hang on in there. Try and work his way back in. He's got himself in a position now where it's going to end up anybody's match, this. Well, Tommy's had a blast trying to bump that yellow. And now Popman, where he's sitting, he can't get a clean hit on that yellow up table, I don't think. To pot it is going to go around the jaws. And again, he's also in a position where he can run forward here. The big risk is with no shot in the yellow. Well, he's trying to hold it. I don't know that he can see enough of that to pot it, can he? He's going to have to tweak this a wee bit. And even then, I don't know. Is he? Let's have a look. And where's the 8 ball? The 8 ball's up here, so I mean, Either way, he's not going to be good. Well, I think Tommy's got a touchy little red to start with, the one that's near the yellow, if he wants to go all out for it, because he may well be taking a little piece of that yellow when he plays that red. He's looking around the table just to play for time here. No harm in doing that, as long as you play a legal shot, you get a ball to rail, and you don't leave your opponent anything. Well, there's a line there to get to the yellow. Potman decides to play the deliberate foul, using the 8 ball to block the pocket, and that is a wise move. It's trying to give himself a second chance, because now he's given Tommy a problem to deal with. Now, Tommy's got the free shot, and the first thing he should be doing is dealing with that red that's right on top of the 8 ball. Now, Semi-Pro, are you still there? That might be correct in what Tommy's saying. I think Semi-Pro's gone. Semi-Pro's the man to answer that, but I think Semi-Pro's right, may well confirm that. Well, aye, the problem in VP4 is that was Potman's second shot, wasn't it? And VP4, I don't think's got any way of understanding that. Semi-Pro's not here, because he would have been all over that like a rash. And I'm not getting involved. Well, that was definitely on purpose. There's no argument there. I mean, that's there's no doubting what Potman was up to there. But I'm wondering if Potman even knows that. I'm hedging my bets that he's not 100% certain. But I think Potman gave it back to Tommy there, didn't he? So Potman, I think, is giving him the table back with the free shot, and suddenly we're going to have a tied ball game. Now, why the hell was Semi-Pro not here? Well, that's true as well. I mean, in that respect, Brainful Out, I agree with you. Because not everybody, let's be honest, not everybody is 100% up in these black ball rules. And I think that's a very important thing for the next time this thing is run, that deliberate fouls are not allowed in black ball. You have to play a legal shot, or at least attempt one. And you can't just do that roll onto the 8-ball and push it over the pocket to block the pocket to gain an advantage from it. Right, I've hung on long enough, I'll be back in a minute. Right, I'm back. I was just thinking there that when Popman rolled that 8-ball, that shows you how much I remember of the rules, because I said, well, Popman did the right thing there in trying to protect the pocket. Well, clearly it isn't, when you remember the rule is you're not meant to play deliberate fouls. So Tommy was right in making that point in the comments. You know, he's a fair enough guy. We've seen that from Tommy because we know what happened. Don't forget what happened with Tommy and Cobra last year. You know, Tommy accepted it then, and he was fair enough to accept it now. But at least Popman gave him it back, and we're 8 apiece. Well, that's one thing. That the black ball rule. Whenever you Google the black ball rules, the site I end up with is that horrible sheet of rules. It's like a PDF file. It's a sheet, and you've got to scroll all over the place to try and read stuff. It's horrible. It's a worst looking set of rules written down for people to try and read, unless you're holding it in your hand. It's horrible to look at on the website. Well, the one where that was the one. But that was a connection thing. That was the connection going weird. But you know, I think Stubbs' brain kicked in there for a short while where he wasn't going to do anything. And then, of course, then Stubb realised that I was streaming it. We're all watching it. We all seen what was happening, and he realised he couldn't get away with it. So that's why then I typed in, you know, give him it back. But, you know, Stubbs the one who could end up falling foul of that rule and probably not realise that if that was Popman playing that shot tonight against Stubb, I don't think would be any the wiser. I'm not 100% certain that Stubb is on the ball as far as that rule goes. I'm not 100% certain he is. It might be worthwhile making sure that everybody that's still left in the tournament is aware of that. Now, if that was me, I'd be sending them all an email. Now, I say that if that was me and I was running the event, that's what I'd be doing. But I ain't running it. So I ain't getting involved as far as that goes. Where's the cue ball going? Oh dear. Well, it's all gone wrong. Tommy's now in front. And that's what happens when you run the cue ball. Yeah, I think I've got links switched off in Twitch. That was because we were getting bots and shit on it. Well, Tommy straight away has scratched. You know, Popman can immediately redeem himself here. Well, I think the way this table is sitting, Popman has got to think hard here before he commits himself. Because that yellow that's up table is making it awkward to clear those three reds that's up there. Okay, the one on the right side goes no problem, the one in the back rail goes, but as long as you leave the angle on the one in the back rail up there. See, now he's played a shot where he's in no man's land. You know, that's not great where he is. If that was me, I would have thought a wee bit longer before I committed. Well, he's still not committed. I mean, it's still an open table. The free shot is done and dusted. But he's now got to deal with this awkward red. And this is his chance to do it. If he cuts that in and drops down and leaves the angle, but not too much of an angle, well, he's caught the jaw. In fact, that's gone wrong. He's dead straight. And again, of course, now he's running out of options to get to that red. Well, he's got to be fully committed. He's got to knock that in, try and come back off that by an inch, and roll that red into the side. That's what he's got to do. I don't believe he wants to be running forward to try and play the red into the other side, because that's touchy, and that could easily go wrong. And now I don't know what the hell he's doing. In fact, I don't know that Popman knows what he's doing, because that was an awful shot. I think he sort of gave up on ideas there, Popman. It really was bad. I mean, he's nowhere. You know, he had to dink that in and come back an inch to leave the red into the side. He made no effort to do that. That's strange. But that's what happens when you're under a bit of pressure and you're trailing 9-8. And knows also that racks are running out fairly quickly. Well, Tommy's going to be forced into taking the one up top first. Simply because of where he's sitting, he's awkward. But that yellow goes into the side, no problem. So he's just got to get back into the table. And just got to watch how much angle he has on this second last yellow. Oh, that's gone wrong. That's gone badly wrong. Oh dear. Well, Popman has been handed a huge lifeline here. Tommy's made a proper mess of that. And that was the problem. You know, he had to get out into the table. He didn't want to leave a huge angle in this yellow. He just wanted to be able to come out for the one on the side, and he's dinked it and killed it. And now he's having to kick. Man U getting stuffed already. Who are they playing and what's the score? It's the Premiership tonight, isn't it? The Champions League's next week again, I think, is it not? Well, Popman, you got to get out. Well, the mistakes are happening. They're happening at the business end of the mat. What's this? What's this done here? What's he done here? Unbelievable. Look at this. I mean, this is just gone crazy. You know, Tommy's gifted Popman the table to get out, and Popman's ended up putting the cue ball on the one place where he can't do much with this 8-ball. I mean, he could give it a cut and catch the joy hopes, or he could try and kick it in. His odds are not good, and that's all gone wrong. And this is a huge turn in the match now. Tommy's going to be on the hill, and Popman has blew himself out the water there big time. Well, Newcastle are doing well. Those, I'll tell you, the Toon Army will be going crazy. The guys will all have their... I bet there's that bunch of guys, and you know what it's like the East Coast. The weather's not... The forecast isn't good. I bet there's a gale blowing. Is it in Newcastle or is it down in Manchester? Got to be Newcastle. They'll all be standing with their shirts off. Well, what a huge turnaround there. Oh, it's in Manchester. Oh, God, at Old Trafford, and they're 2-0 down. Oh, they'll be getting a roasting at half-time. Well, this match has completely turned. Since we joined it, it was, I think it certainly was at 2 racks all, or it was 2-1 to one of them, and it ended up in 2 all. Popman went into a 6-2 lead. So, in the last, whatever length of time it is, the last 3/4 of an hour or the last hour, Tommy's 8-2 in front. And he's on the hill. And this is the point of no return for Popman. And he was looking pretty solid early on there, Popman. And it's all gone wrong. It's just sort of fallen away for him. And that last rack there was a comedy of errors. Yeah, but, you know, Newcastle, they do deserve to have a good run and a good finish in the Premiership. They're doing really well. And it's been donkey's years since Newcastle have been, well, not since Keegan was around. And that's a while, when Kevin Keegan was there. Well, here we go. Tommy trying to immediately deal with his problem red. He didn't get any joy, went full into the yellow. Red stays where it is. And well, as this table lies, Potman's going to have a good yellow to go on that final 8 ball, given the chance. And Tommy's blasting at balls, trying to do something to get at that other red. And he's at it again. Oh, this might work in his favour though. Well, it has done in that little way. Well, that yellow's easy enough to get at to play the combo. I thought it was tighter, but Tommy's doing everything at every opportunity, even when there's no real shot there. He's just trying to get to that red and can't get there. Well, he might as well have a go at the combo, at the at back cutting this and making it a bank. You never know. I mean, he's probably still not going to be on the other red, but he might end up having to bank that as well if he did get it. No, he's just trying to mess things up. And that was not bad, because Potman's been left a problem. I was reading today on I think it was a teletext. I was reading that there was the conclusion on how Bobby Charlton died. It was a result of a fall that he had in the nursing home that he's in, because he had dementia, and he was in a nursing home. They were looking after him, and they said that he had a fall. Because I mean, you know that when it gets bad, their coordination isn't good. They need to be, if they're going to be moving from one room to another, they really need to be supervised to move around on their own. And clearly, whether he fell in his room, I don't know. But they do need 24-hour care. It's a sad way to go though. But now, Potman is locked away. And we've got a bit of messing about here. Well, Potman has got Tommy in trouble. Tommy's got to get his red out and hope that Potman can't do anything. That red is tight enough in the pocket, but that yellow could possibly get it. Well, I don't mean paw it, but it could get in and get the better of the red, if you know what I mean. There might be enough room to get it in there. Well, he's not even playing it. I don't know whether he looked at that. It was very tight, but he might have been able to get the yellow just in there to get the better of the red and move it out a little bit. But nevertheless, Tommy's still in dire straits now, needing this rack for the match, and he can play the bank, all or nothing. This will win him the match. Well, that looks good. He's played it perfect. And that's what you get when you grab the bull by the horns and you're forced in to getting it done. And Tommy has battled back. He's hung in there. And Potman has watched the match just drift away in the end from 6-2 in front. Tommy's running out with what 9-2 victory really in the last hour or so. So Tommy goes through 11 racks to 8. You've just got to hang in and battle and play the table. And Popman, well, he had his chances. Faffed about once or twice too many for my liking. And that was his downfall in the end. And the mistakes were happening from both sides. So very well done to Tommy. Quick look to see where that puts him. Once this updates, if it's not already updated, where is it? Right, so Tommy is now through. I think he's waiting on a loser coming through, isn't he? Yes, he is. He's waiting on a loser coming through. Let's look at the main bracket. We can see that Matt, having gone through earlier tonight by 13 racks to 8 against Coldest Pillow, is now through for a match with Albinari. Now, Matt, of course, knows that he's got to be on his game. And likewise with Albinari, he's got to play a good game also, because Matt's more than capable enough of taking him the distance. So that should be a really tough draw, that match. We've got semi-pro through to round 3. He's waiting on the winner of Cobra and LS3, which goes ahead at the weekend. And I should be there for that. I hope you can join us. That should be a good match also. We've got Fast Eddie, who got through to round 3 with Zangetsu's forfeit. Bear in mind that Zangetsu had beat Linus 13-12 in the first round, and then Zangetsu went walkabout. But he's still there in the one-loss side. He plays Handful of Potatoes, and Zangetsu should get through in that, because Handful of Potatoes was a forfeit in the first round. And if Zangetsu plays his cards right, he should have an easy run to the next round. Then further down, we've got Stubb, Real Poland Power against Mark Sharp. That is probably more than likely going to be in the middle of the night my time, so hopefully Slim will get that match. And then, talking of One Pocket Slim, he is through to round 3 after a 13-10 victory over Brain Pull Out. And One Pocket Slim is waiting on the winner of the match between Bankster and Christian. Now, they've got until November the 10th, so there's still plenty of time to get that match played. So the proposals should be getting sent out. We'll go and have also a final check before we go for the night on the 3-cushion World Championship. And we can see that LS3 and Emit 224 or 234 are due to play at 8 PM on Thursday, which is tonight. In fact, no, wait a minute. November the... What day is this? This is Wednesday, isn't it? I've totally lost the plot. Yeah, that's tomorrow night, isn't it? Aye, this is the 1st of November. I'm forgetting where I am. So that's one match. I haven't seen Emmett in any tournament. So again, I'm just wondering whether he'll show up. But that, of course, is a winner's match. Maybe Emmett is one of these dark horse 3-cushion players. So we'll find out tomorrow. So that is it. So well done to the winners tonight. Semi-pro, are you still there? We had an incident earlier on in the match. Popman had 2 shots, and Tommy had a chunk of his balls left on the table, and Popman decided to, with his second shot, to roll the 8 ball to block the pocket, and effectively played a deliberate foul. And Tommy Tommy drew it to his attention that you can't play them, it's a loss of rack, and you weren't around to confirm it, but I think we all agreed it was. And Popman did as well, because he gave Tommy the rack in the end. Right, so that is it, folks. Thanks all for your company. Thanks for joining us here on VP4TV. Hopefully we'll have more matches very soon. Until then, I'll bid you good night and thank you for your company. I am off to watch the football, and I'll see you again very soon. So take care and see you later, folks.